Yeah, and when you first started, like what were you doing? What were you thinking like as a brand new insurance agent?
Gosh.
21 years ago. He's got to rack his brain for a second.
Yeah, 21 years ago when I was 21. So
That's right.
or 21, yeah. So I was
So we got started at the same time.
Yeah. So I was wondering, how am I going to make it, right? How am I going to live? Going a day here, a day there, not making, I realized that, as time goes on, if you don't look at the days and the weeks, but you look at the month, you're a bad week, but you'll never have a bad month if you go to work every day. And I realized that pretty early in my career, but it's frustrating. I mean, there were several days and several weeks, especially when you need to make a paycheck, that it's challenging, but you just got to push through knowing that it's all going to work out in the end.
Yeah. And what were some of the activity you were doing back then?
Back then, just, I'd work leads when I had the money to do it. I did whatever leads. We talked about the title to my car, but whatever you have to do to come up with money to buy leads, that's your inventory. That's what you need. But if you don't do that, referrals are big, right? Referrals are always good. If you don't have an unlimited supply of leads, when you're working leads, make those 20 leads turn into 30, 40, 50. Ask for referrals in every house. We call it clover leaf, but door knock around the neighbors. That's always was good.
I like giving that a little, okay.
Yeah,
clover leaf.
Call it, or some call it I formation, but when you hit the house, hit the one to the next, either side of it, and the one behind it. And do that because they know the neighbors, right? And especially if you make a sale, I just told Miss Jones next door, she thought it'd be a good idea if I came over here and looked at your policy. Oh, I don't have a policy. Great. Or, I'm already have that taken care of. Great. We'll take a look at that quick and make sure you've got the updated rates or however you want, whatever your sales script is.
That's good.
Yeah.
That was smooth, by the way. The script for the door knocking, right? The script for door knocking the neighbor was like just off the cuff, right? Which is awesome. What's up, Theo? What's up, Tahira? Okay, so when you were walking through doing that as a new agent, was there a point where this thing started to because obviously it didn't click early.
No.
You said, I think you made like $40 something thousand your first year. You had to pawn the title of your car just to get leads. What kind of car was it, just for the record?
It was a 1999 Ford Taurus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sexy car.
Yeah.
Right.
Not too old in 2000, 2001, but
that's true.
Yeah, so it was a newer car then, but yeah, the old bubble body style. So it was an ugly car. But,
okay, so Ford Taurus, you're rocking. You got
riding the Ford Taurus. I've got the maps, right? So there was the internet wasn't prevalent then. We didn't have cell phones, so each county we had maps. So I had a bag of maps. So when I go to the county, you go to the firehouse if you couldn't find the house. So a lot of things have changed from before technology. Now it routes the best route for you to go see clients. If you're out in the field, or if you've got dialers, if you're over the phone. So we didn't have all that technology back then. We just, if you missed a phone call, you waited till you got home at night and checked your voicemail. There wasn't, instant communication like there is today is really helped. Back then it was different, but
for sure.
But still a grind. Still got to work through it.
Yeah, that's true. Isn't it cool to have somebody in office with me, by the way, doing Rising Star instead of like different Zooms, right? This is fun. Derek says my first car in 2010 was a 1990 Taurus.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Man, so
Derek's got me beat.
You had one earlier and still had a much newer model.
Yeah. I had a 2-year-old car. Derek's was a lot different.
He had a 20 bird, a couple decades.
Yeah.
He had an old fogey. Robert Kent says 1976 4-door Chevy Nova.
Wow.
Boom.
That's nice.
That's awesome. Look at it. That's awesome. That's cool. Okay.
I wish he still has it.
Yeah, probably does. I love it.
That's great.
Yeah. Hey, Wayne, I'm going to step out real quick. I'll be back in 60 seconds. I would like for you to share the main pain points that you see amongst new agents and why you see those as pain points.
Okay.
Great. I'll be right back.
The biggest thing I think that everybody will agree is, who do you go see, right? So that would be your lead source, whether that's, Facebook leads, telemarketing, direct mail. That's the biggest pain point. And what I mean is consistency. Regardless of what avenue you go and what leads that you like to work, be consistent with your purchases, right? So buy them weekly, buy them every other week, whatever you want to do, but make sure that you always have a consistent lead flow, even if you have a bad week. And I know it's tough, but if you have a bad week, you don't make sales, continue with that lead flow. That's the biggest pain point, paying money for something when you just didn't have success with it. potentially for 1 week, because over time, the numbers work out. The referrals work out. The second pain point is training, and you guys are doing that, right? So being on here with Cody, with training, I think that's the biggest piece. Constantly train on your door script, constantly train on your in-home presentation, your flip chart, whatever you guys are using, because it needs to just come off just like that. You don't even need to be able to think about it. You don't need to have any nervous tendencies when you go to the door. You need to be comfortable with that, and that's a lot of practice and role playing. So I'd say those are the two biggest.
Yeah. What was the two you said?
I went with leads and consistent flow. Even if you have a bad week, making sure you're putting the money out and paying for the leads is number one, because check when you just had a bad week for another set of leads. But whether that's Facebook or whatever it may be, do that, and then make sure that you're training, right, which they're doing here with you, but also make sure that you're practicing your scripts and got everything.
Yes. Why is that to where an agent will have a bad like who believes that leads can help you make more money? Like, by show of hands, in all seriousness, right? Okay. Majority. Okay. So if we believe that and we buy leads, but then we don't have success, or we do it once, we tend to wait to buy them again. Okay. We're a typical business. It's kind of funny when you think about Amazon. Okay. And let's just say that they're, I don't know, they're building a little, I don't know, whatever, it doesn't matter. Let's just say they're building golf balls, right? They're building golf balls. Look at Derek. I thought of golf balls. Okay. If they're building golf balls and they have, I don't even know what golf balls are made out of, but let's just say that the thing that makes dimples is broke. Do you think they're going to wait to get that fixed? Or do you think they're going to get it fixed as soon as possible because they need those golf balls rolling down the assembly line, right? Well, same thing for insurance. Like if you buy leads once and then you don't buy them again for a month, I can promise you the pipeline's going to dry up. And if you buy them and you make some money, but then you wait to buy them again, especially if you're doing direct mail or whatever, several weeks later, you could be back to broke and starting over just because you weren't consistent. Yeah. You guys do a great job of getting your agents consistent leads every single week.
The on-demand lead system is important. So we keep leads in inventory, direct mail in several states and counties. But to Cody's point, especially if you're using mail houses that take 3 and 4 weeks, 5 weeks, you have to order every week with that mail house, even though you're going to have 4 or 5 weeks before you can even sell anything. And I know that's tough. And that's why, looking at a career program, if you don't have the funds to do that, is important, because without leads, without someone to go see, it's very tough to be successful, because your warm market will get used up, right? You'll see your family, your friends, everybody you can see, and you'll get to a point where you need someone new to see.
Yeah. Why is it so scary to spend money on leads for 4 weeks without a
because I think the unknown, especially with a new agent, you're not going to know your success rate on that, right? I know that's the way I was every time I did it. Once I got good, I knew that if I bought X amount of dollars worth of leads, I could make X amount of money. I could 3 times, 4 times my money. But in the beginning, when you haven't done this before, that's a big risk to take. Yeah. You put that money out there and you don't know what your success is going to be. But the key is whether, like I said, regardless of the lead source, is that it's consistent, and do it weekly.
Hey, if you enjoyed this, I got another one you're going to love. It's right there. Click on it. See you in there. Let's talk about the Tesla since you brought it up, okay? So they gave away a Tesla this past year.
Yes.
How did that work? What did you do? Whose idea was it? Where did it come from?
You look at it, we all give back to our community, and we're like,